So there was a pretty interesting change to the Elite Bloonarius specifically in the last update. You know how every time you defeat a skull it spews out some incredibly big balloons? Well, for every 1% of damage you deal it also spews out some balloons that spawns across pretty much the entire track, and those balloons that it spawns has now been changed. And these are called the Bleed Bloons, and the Bleed Bloons for tier 4 used to be 12 Moabs, but now it's 8 Moabs plus 2 BFBs, and for tier 5 the Bleed Bloons are now, instead of 8 DDTs, it's 6 DDTs plus 2 fortified ZOMGs. And that means an increase in the total RBE of the Bleed Bloons that it spawns, especially for tier 5. And I mean, these balloons can spawn up to 75% of their way through the track, so fortified ZOMG spawning that far along the track will divert some attention of some of your towers. So basically, this is a buff to Bloonarius, pretty much. And here's what we're doing today. We're playing a map that I don't think I've ever played on this channel, Spring, and we're gonna try to beat the Elite Bloonarius using only these 4 tiny islands. And I'm also going into this challenge kind of blind. I haven't really done a lot of testing for this one. Usually I come up with sort of a plan for these challenges, but going in blind today. We're going with Geraldo here, and I guess we're gonna try to save up to his NFT first of all, and then get a couple of farms going, although we won't be able to fit more than 4, maybe 5. There we go, and we can't really make use of the ice trick to fit any more towers on this land because the track is just next to the actual islands, so making use of that trick is not possible. I really don't know how to properly farm with Geraldo, so what I'm gonna do, especially not in a scenario like this, so I think I'm just gonna, even though we're really late now, I think I'm still just gonna go ahead and do a bank rush. Alright, we have 3 shooty turrets now. Surely this ought to deal with most of the balloons. Man, those yellows are just too quick. We're gonna have to tank some leaks here. Alright, for the leads here, I think I'm gonna have to do this. We're gonna sell this soon anyway, so we'll do that and that. Set it to strong. There we go, and now we're gonna be a bit late with this bank, man. We're gonna be really late. Yeah, we're not even gonna be able to get an Opolis like this before tier 1. This is gonna be interesting. Right, so I think I'm just done now. I don't think I'm gonna do any more farming now. There's not much else I can do. Now, usually I think what you're supposed to do in the actual proper Geraldo farming is to sell the NFT at some point to get a Minneapolis, but well, it's too late for that now. Yeah, look at this. Our bank isn't even full. Jesus Christ, that's not great. Wait, before doing anything here, I want to just check which direction does it take. Okay, it goes up. That's important to know. Is there any chance that we could afford an Opolis and still have enough defense? Alright, so we get the Opolis and we have 18k left to defend with. So I'm guessing a cheap way to deal with tier 1 would be to place a ninja bomber like as far to the right here as possible. Eventually we'll have to sell that one and get a new one right here, probably, because I don't think this one is gonna deal with it fast enough. And then we'll probably get down here where we're gonna get like 1 or 2 more glaives. Alright, so at least we have an Opolis. We have a ninja bomber to take care of the boss, and this stuff to try and take care of the insides. Alright, and we can just barely fit this farm here. That's wonderful. Alright. Can we deal with the insides here with this current setup? Let's see. Yes, we can. Sweet. And I guess meanwhile, to have something to spend the money on, we're just gonna buy these bottom path farms because I haven't made up a plan for what I want to do just yet. Now let's see. I don't really know what to get next here for farming, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get myself a balloon trap. Alright, and it looks like we won't have to move the ninja even, so that's nice. Although we did take quite a few rounds in order to beat this, so our farming is taking a hit from all this. Alright, but we do beat tier 1. I'd call that a success. Right, so what I'm thinking is sell these farms and get a BRF and an overclock. That's gotta be the right move. Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot about this. This is important. Do that. I can't remember which farms it's actually worth doing it on, but probably not so much this one. I'll wait until I get it to tier 4. Man, I just love farming with like limited space. Gets me a freaking hard on, dude. Yeah, there's no way this is gonna work, right? Oh, come on, man. So close. I'm dead. Oh, that's right. I sold my 2 things here because I wanted to test something, but then I pressed play and I forgot about it. Okay. Put a Gary fire on this one and that ought to solve the problem. There we go. Man, this is intense. Right, so now we have 3 BRFs, 3 overclocks, and they are all affected by Geraldo's shit in a bag. Right. I think, well, actually, maybe I'll play one more round, and then I'll turn this into a new Opolis with a BRF as a sacrifice. I think so. Let's do one more round first. Get a new one of those. Replace the BRF, and now we can also get, I think we have, do we have room for a Monkey City next to here? We will after we sell this guy. Oh wait, we can do this, we can do this. Watch this. And then we use the overclock. Wait, which one is that? That's this one. Overclock, sell, and then mad. Look at that. Big brain. Sell that overclock as well. Get another one of those. Very good. So these bleed balloons, you see these rainbows here? Those are just the same as before. Nothing has changed other than the tier 4 and the tier 5. So still just a regular old Bloonarius for now. Oh wait, oh my god! Okay. Right. Let me try that again, but this time a bit more carefully. Oh my god. We need something more. Surely that ought to do the trick. All right, this is working better now. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, we can apply this to bottom path farms now. That's really cool. And there we go. Nice. Oh, we just finished round 64, but whatever. Right, and sell and almost. No! Oh, good enough. And this farm we're gonna turn into a bank. This is gonna be a tier 5 eventually, and I think I'm gonna go bottom path because I'm not gonna bother with depositing and whatnot. In terms of defense here, we might need to switch something up. It would be nice to get a Spirit of the Forest, because that actually makes money and lives. So that's kind of what I want to go for. Do this. Collect, lend, upgrade. Look at that, start getting stacks. Let's collect, take another loan, and do that. So we get the end of round cash. Man, I am good at loaning money. Not sure if that's a positive thing. But I'm thinking, like, if we get a dart like here. Wait, there's no way we can actually fit a farm too, right? We can. Oh my god. That's awesome, dude. So we have just enough space, and that means we can go ahead and basically save up. We only need, what, 80k? We can save that up pretty quickly and buy it mid-round, and that I think should defend tier 3, just a degree 1. Yeah, in terms of gaining the cash and time, that ought to be really easy. I just hope that this guy alone will be able to defend like anything that comes on this bottom path here. There's not really a whole lot of towers to defend that. Yeah, and will you look at that? There we go. Just a degree 1. And the range here is awesome. It's taking down these bad balloons quite slowly, actually. But I still feel confident that it ought to be able to defend the whole tier. And now we might as well get this thing too. This little action figure back. And yeah, see, these bad balloons are making a fair bit along the track here. But we are fine. Yeah, so it turns out a degree 1 dart paragon is the perfect amount of defense here. So, and I think we're actually gonna keep it all the way until tier 4. Not that we're like gonna use it for tier 4, but just in terms of like defending the rounds, because I mean, it takes up so little space, right? All right, and there it is. Nice. Look, we're almost losing to this. See? That was pretty close. Perfect. All right, so now we're farming at pretty much max capacity here. I don't really know what else I could possibly do to increase the speed at which we're farming here. You know what? I don't want to sell any farms, but you know what I can do? I can... Let me see here. Let's sell this one. Replace with... We're gonna make an energy paragon because we just barely have enough space to do so. We haven't been farming any pops, but who the hell cares? Let's use all of our money. Actually, wait. Paragon calculator. Okay, I'm glad I stopped myself there because apparently we need to spend 380k for a degree 20. So we're gonna wait until we have enough money and do it mid-round instead. Just a little more and there we go. Now sacrifice everything and that ought to be a degree 20 on the dot. Nice. There we go. Now let's see if this is actually enough here. I'm counting on that these sentries are gonna be able to do a good amount of damage using the explosions. Alright, so now you see the bleed balloons here. As you can see, it's not just Moabs, it's BFBs as well. Now that doesn't really make it a whole lot tougher because, well, compared to the tier 5 being fortified ZOMGs at round 120, that's really where I'm guessing the difference will be noticed, if it actually is noticed at all. We definitely benefited from waiting for that extra cash though. I mean, getting degree 20 here I think was pretty crucial. Yeah, this is pretty close. This would definitely not have worked if we didn't do that. And wow, look at that. So we do take down tier 4 and I'm feeling confident about this tier 5. Well, since there is nothing that I'm gonna change, I think maybe we will just fast forward until the final tier. And almost 2 million with 2 paragons on the map. Pretty good. So let's see what we want to do here. Probably, well, almost certainly we want to go for an ace. 530,000. Okay. For a degree 20. Well, probably still a good idea. And let's see here. We can't quite afford a boomer paragon, unfortunately. So I think what I might do, sell this one and grab myself a degree 1 boomer instead. Yeah. Why did I even move the slider? I just wanted to donate 20k. Feeling generous today. Alright, now be wary and watch for the fortified ZOMGs that's gonna be spawning as bleed bloons before we even take out the first skull here. Yeah, see, it's spawning these fortified ZOMGs, but they're not spawning that far along the... Oh, there we got one that spawned pretty far along the track. So I guess it's kind of random. I don't actually know. I didn't even know it was random, honestly. So I think in terms of like, if you're doing ranked timed, or you're doing like the kind of challenge I'm doing now, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. It's not gonna be that much harder. But for something like least cash and least tiers ranked, yeah, I do think it's gonna make a bit of a difference. But for this particular challenge, I would say that there's probably not that much of a difference. By the way, are we good here? We're halfway. But I mean, this might actually come to an interesting conclusion here. Man, I kind of love it when it gets close. All right, and now let's start moving. Let's start placing the mega sentries on this right-hand side island now. Yeah, right, this is not gonna end up being as close as I expected it to be. I thought the bad balloons of the last like 2 skulls were gonna get pretty far, but time some abilities and they are of no threat. Alright, there we go! Elite Bloonarius defeated on Spring using just the 4 tiny islands. So overall, not a huge change to Bloonarius, will only affect you in certain least cash and least tiers ranked scenarios. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.